What are the 5 most common inspection items that we hear in Minnesota? My name's Travis Anderson. I'm your local real estate expert. Let's take a look. The number one thing that we hear from every inspector is going to be water intrusion or possible water intrusion, which includes sloping around the home or grading around the home, as well as gutters and gutter extensions. Might be a little bit hard to see, but we're right next to the air conditioning unit, sprinkler system, gas valve right here. But you can see that the land is sloping away from the home. Probably the most common issue that we hear from home inspectors is just going to be possible water intrusion. And if there's any like flat spots. Now up over here is a big window well. It's actually a giant window well. And you can see there's a downspout extension that's actually down, and along, it rained a little bit here. Along that concrete there, you can actually see there's some water seeping into that. Good inspector is gonna kind of walk around the home and look for possible low spots. They're gonna make recommendations about those, as well as gutters and gutters extensions, as you can see right here. And then they're gonna bring that information inside, and they're gonna go to the basement, and they're gonna see if they notice any water intrusion from these possible areas outside. The second item that we see on most inspection reports are going to be some minor electrical items. Now, this homeowner does have an exterior cover on their electrical outlet here. It isn't a GFCI protected outlet, at least not from out here. So an inspector is going to test this to see if it's GFCI protected somewhere else in the home. But small electrical concerns are very common on home inspection reports. You might see ungrounded outlets. You might see switches that aren't operating outlets properly, or you might see 3-way switches that aren't working properly. Let's get in the home and talk about some other things. Kind of a tight fit in here, but what we have behind me is going to be the furnace and the water heater. And one of the top 3 things that we're seeing on every inspection report is going to be a furnace not being yet tuned up. And in Minnesota, because of the climate changes, we're looking at getting these things tuned up maybe every 3 years, kind of on the high. An inspector is going to take a look at the furnace. They're going to take a look at how it burns, the cleanliness of the flame. They're going to look for a sticker to see if it's been serviced, and they're going to obviously check the furnace filter. I got to tell you, the number of times we get furnaces recommended to be serviced or tuned up is going to be the vast majority of those home inspections here in Minnesota. The fourth thing we're hearing in almost every inspection is going to be the attic. I've got the attic access right above me here, and an inspector is going to poke their head in the attic. They're going to go ahead and they're going to look for adequate insulation in the attic. And the vast majority of homes do not have adequate insulation here in the state of Minnesota. Obviously, if you're in a newer constructed home, it maybe has 18 inches or sometimes even slightly more. Most of the homes built in Minnesota were built well before the current standard. And so just about every home inspection I see, we're going to have inadequate insulation. In addition to that, when they have their head in the attic, they're going to notice mouse droppings or some burrowing of mouse nesting. So this is something that we're seeing in almost every single home here in Minnesota. And again, it's part of the climate, part of what we have to deal with, but that's what we're getting at. Last but not least, inspectors are going to check every single window, and undoubtedly there's going to be a window that isn't working properly. Maybe there's a window pane, the seal in the window pane that has been broken where the argon gas escapes on a dual pane window. You're going to have some broken mechanisms, windows that don't open all the way, and of course included with that will be broken screens. Hey, listen, my name's Travis Anderson. If you've got more questions about inspections in Minnesota, do me a favor, give me a call, shoot me a text, hit me up in the comments section. And as always, all my best to you and yours.